The Assault Pod is an easy-to-build attack ship that can be used by a single pilot for covert raids, but works best in swarms with an army of pilots. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Creative Spotlight with me, AnubizRa, here in space once again. Now, what are we up to today? We are going to take a look at that guy over there. This is the Assault Pod. Now, the point of this ship is something that you should be able to build very quickly and get yourself into the fray, into the battle, as fast as you can. Help out with your group, your team, or all by your lonesome, if you so please. So the way that it accomplishes this, of course, is that it is a very slim and sleek build that doesn't have a whole lot for you to build on it, right? So it's got the basic thrusters pointing in each direction. As you can see, there's one facing forward, one facing in each direction this way. There's one facing up and down, and you're also going to notice that there is two facing back, and then there's one that's off, and I'll get into that one in a minute. But normally you're more concerned about going in the direction you're facing faster than any other direction. So that's why I put two back there. And then it sports a wonderful gyroscope here down on the bottom, as well as a medium cargo container in the center. Now the medium cargo container, its primary purpose is for you to store all of the ammunition to load the guns, right? So we've got a turreted missile launcher on the side here, and we've also got a turreted Gatling gun on the side here. Now, why turreted, you may ask? And also you may notice that we're floating to the side. This is a new thing in Space Engineers at the moment. As of this build, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, for whatever reason, we just float. But we have these turreted guns on either side. Now, the point of these turreted guns is twofold. One, you're able to actually take control of them, direct their fire, and shoot at the enemy, as well as you can leave the one you're not controlling, or both, to be an automation mode, right? And allows you to both do defensive and offensive action. So let's jump inside this little pod, take a look at how it works. So if I bring up the G menu, you will see we have the ability to control both the Gatling turret as well as the missile turret. Here we have an override thruster, which I'll explain in a minute. Then we have the ability to turn the Gatling turret on and off. So if you do not want it, taking autonomous action, you can just flip it off. And you can also increase or decrease its range, right? So if you only want it to go after things when it gets to a certain point, or you can set these to 0 so that they don't actually attack anything, but then you don't have to turn them off, so you can still jump into them and control them. Your choice. And the same thing is set up here for the missile turrets. So if I jump into the Gatling turret, you'll notice that, so I can move it around, right? I can fire the weapon. And I also do not have the idle movement turned on, so that, let's say, I want this facing forward, and I want its default position to be facing forward, so that when I jump into it, I know which way it's looking. Wherever I leave it now, and I jump out, let's say jump into the missile turret, right? And then I can jump out of this one, jump back into this one, and it's still facing the same way. So that's why they're set up the way they are with idle turned off. Now, if I go into the K menu, you will see that the missile turret's settings is, like I said, the idle movement is turned off. I also do not target meteors or moving objects. I don't want it just shooting randomly at things. But I do have it targeting missiles, because I do want it to work kind of like as point defense. Let's say if I'm not controlling one, I want the other one to be attacking the enemy if they're close, right? So I have it targeting small ships and large ships and characters. But I also want it targeting any missiles that they fire at us, so that it saves our buttocks. As well as I do have stations turned on as well. You can always flip that off if you want. And I do not have it attacking neutrals by default. And of course, uses the conveyor system. Now the Gatling turret works exactly the same way. Got it set up exactly the same way. Right? Now obviously these are preference. You can set them up however you please. So the last few things to mention in here is I've got a group for all of the thrusters minus that override thruster that we pointed out in the beginning. And then, just the basic stuff that you have in here, right? Now, the override thruster is special. I've got it set up to be off by default and override at maximum thrust. And the reason for this is that when you are flying, so if I turn towards something, let's back it up a little bit. So we are stationary. I'm going to fly towards this, and then I'm going to jump into the gun. And you see it's not moving forward anymore. I'm controlling the gun, but we've lost all of our momentum. So there's a couple ways you can handle this, right? One, you could actually just flip off your inertial dampeners, start flying in a direction, jump into the cockpit, and you will keep flying in that direction, as you can see here. So the other way you can handle this is you can leave your inertial dampeners on, and then you can actually flip on this overridden thruster, jump into your turret, and then start firing away, right? So I've got both options depending on how you prefer to do with things. Okay, so here we are in our beautiful little assault ship. And out there, we've got some automated bad guys. So we're gonna go and head off towards them. One of them, I believe that one over there has a missile launcher on it, and I believe this one over here has a Gatling turret on it. So we're gonna see if we can take them out. All right, so here you can see these are the defenses that we're gonna be shooting at. They're not attacking me yet because we're not at war with this faction yet. There's the Gatling turret, and there is the missile launcher. The automation is on. There you go. Yeah, see, there's the fully automated defenses that I was talking about. So let's just jump in here. Let's reduce this automation here down a bit, so that we don't just start firing at them right away. I think that guy is kind of toast already, isn't he? Let's point at this other one. Let's turn on our thruster. Let's jump into the gun, and then we can start firing at this. And then you'll see once we get within range, the missile launcher is going to go as well. So now we're attacking while we fire at it. And it's dead. Here we are again. Let's try this again. We got two bad guys out there. I'm going to fly towards them. Yeah, it's shooting at us. Oh, and we just got hit. No, we're hit. Look at us. Ah! Try this again. Get up some speed here. Aim towards these bad guys. Now, you can't see the radar points when you're in these turrets, which stinks. There we go. Gonna fire at this. And there is the assault pod. And as you can see, it can do some serious damage, but it also isn't a one-man army, right? These work best in concert. So if you have a bunch of people in these little guys flying around, all picking off targets and working together as a unit, I think you could do some serious damage with this. This design was originally created for a game called Roid Grab, where you're working in a team trying to capture a bunch of asteroids before the other team does, right? So I think something like this, you can build them really quickly. You can send them out there. You can have a whole fleet of them. If they blow up, you can rebuild them again, you know, like, and just keep going and going and going. So if you have any ideas about how to improve the design of the assault pod, post them in the comments. I look forward to reading them and having a discussion with you all. The assault pod is available in the workshop now. Check the description for the link. As always, you're free to use it in your own worlds and tinker with it as you please. If you do post a modified version to the workshop, I'd appreciate you including a link to my original version, as well as letting me know in the comments. I'd love to check it out. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like. You'll be letting me know that you're excited to see more of my creations and helping to expose the video to more amazing people like you. If you're new to my channel, you might be interested in subscribing, as you'll be notified when I release new videos. At the moment, I'm releasing Space Engineers on Thursday, Elite Dangerous on Wednesday, Pulsar the Lost Colony on Saturday, and some other fun stuff sprinkled throughout the week. There's a link to my full schedule in the description. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Have an absolute great one, and I'll see you next time.